at Chicago Public Schools. I know my feed, my emails, my text messages, my Twitter has been full of parents reaching out to us being like, what do we do? What do we do? They just told us that our kid was a close contact last week, but we're just finding out today. My kid's in a classroom with 30 other kids, and they're not socially distanced at all. What do we do? Who do I talk to? So we are all here to say that CPS can do better, can do much better. CPS was given $2 billion in federal pandemic relief funds. What are they doing with the money? Where is the transparency? What are they spending that money on? $2 billion could do a lot for the safety of our students. $2 billion could mean that every one of our students could have an N94 mask instead of having these nice gentlemen who showed up with a box full of thousands of masks for us to take to our school. $2 billion could pay for the teachers who need to stay home when they get sick instead of making them use their own sick days. $2 billion. What else could $2 billion do?
Save our kids' lives.
Contact tracers!
Contact tracers! Right now we have 24. I'm going to say it again, 24 contact tracers for a school district with 340,000 students. That is not enough. That ain't right.
That ain't right.
We've all seen the pictures of the hallways in our high school where the students cannot pass, where it looks like a circus in there. There's no room to distance. We've got students who are refusing to eat lunch, who are going hungry because they don't feel safe. And we have no remote option. We have so many families who want a remote option, and CPS is saying our hands are tied. The state's not letting us. It's up to the state. We know that's bullshit. We know that the state already passed a resolution saying the districts could offer a remote option, and CPS is choosing not to. The fact is, CPS could be doing a lot better, and they're not. So we're out here to put pressure on the head of CPS herself, because you know what? Jose Torres has blocked most of us on social media. He's not responding to our emails. He's not responding to our calls. When I go to my principal, guess what I'm told? Drop out and homeschool your kids if you don't feel safe. That ain't right.
That ain't right.
So we're here. We're going to hear from a couple other people and their experiences. I'm going to start with Catlyn Savado. She is a student here at CPS. She'll tell you more about herself. Thanks, Catlyn.
Good evening. My name is Catlyn Savado. I'm 14 years old. I'm a community organizer and activist on the South Side. But nonetheless, I am one of those thousands of students who have been sitting in one of Chicago's public schools, high schools at that, for the past 2 weeks. What I can tell you is that we do not have any transformative safety in our classrooms, in our schools, in our school environments. And what I mean by transformative is holding each other accountable, right? Social distancing, responsible mask wearing. That is not happening in our schools. It is not. And done with that is no restorative processes. Okay, for the past 2 weeks, there is no acknowledgement of the past 18 months that this country, that this world has gone through. None of that. CPS has rolled back mitigations with CTU from our last school year, and the answers that we are getting from them is nothing. It is not enough to keep students safe, our families safe, our friends safe, our peers safe, our teachers safe, and when we speak up, we are ignored. I am tired. I'm so tired. And then our mayor points fingers like she always does. She loves to point fingers at our communities, at our parents, at our teachers all the time. When our communities are not vaccinated, she points fingers at the people in those communities rather than educating them, going out, doing vaccination drives. She does not do that. We do not have affordable testing, COVID testing in our schools. We do not have that. Neither in our communities nor in our schools. We do not have things that we need to for this school year. We need acknowledgement of the past 18 months that we have gone through. Because what is happening right now is not okay. I am one of those students who for the past 2 weeks did not eat lunch. I did not eat lunch. And when I did eat lunch, I asked for an accommodation. I asked if I could go in a classroom by myself to eat lunch. CPS is not doing what they're supposed to do. They are supposed to be our leaders. They're supposed to be guiding us. I, as a child, am supposed to look at the adults in this city and say, what are you doing to keep me safe? What are you doing to make me feel cared for? What are you doing to make me feel loved? And right now, the answer that I am receiving is nothing. They're not doing anything for me. They're not doing for our black and brown communities. And they're not doing anything for anyone in the city of Chicago right now. And that ain't right. In our classrooms, I have literally sat in a classroom where the air filter was not on. Was not on. That is not okay.
That ain't right.
How do we hold ourselves? How do we hold our school environments? How do we hold our leaders accountable to make sure that the things that are going on in our classrooms are keeping us safe? CPS doesn't have an answer. Community members do. All the voices that you are hearing right now, all the voices that you have been hearing in this pandemic, and all the voices that you will hear today have been telling you the things required to keep our community safe. And CPS is not listening. When we speak up, when we give comprehensive, do you hear that word? I said comprehensive. I'm a 9th grader. Mayor Lori Lightfoot obviously does not know the definition of comprehensive, because when we ask for comprehensive solutions, we do not receive those. We receive answers that satisfy corporations, that satisfy the people. Yeah, I'm a 9th grader. That doesn't mean that I can't comprehend certain things. That satisfy the people who are making money, correct? We need to do better. And not just us, our leaders need to do better. I am a black child telling you that you need to do better. And when our mayor goes out and says that she is listening to black and brown children, that ain't true. Because I'm standing here telling you right now that she is not doing the right things. I'm standing here telling you right now that for the past 18 months, not just I, but many, many black and brown children in the city of Chicago did not have to go through the things that we had to go through. We could have trauma intervention programs in our schools. We hear Superintendent Brown and Mayor Lori Lightfoot almost every Monday after every single weekend telling us how violent it was. Correct? Am I right? Right? We see the news. We watch the news, don't we? We see that. What do they do about it? What do they do about the trauma? I know too many people who have lost peers, family, loved ones to gun violence. The who sit in the classrooms that Lori Lightfoot tells us that her hands are tied, correct? I'm telling you right now that what you can do is you can put a nurse and a social worker and a counselor in every single Chicago public school. Because why the hell are we in a pandemic without a nurse in every single Chicago public school?
That ain't right.
That is not right.
That ain't right.
When it is common sense. We've been asking this before the pandemic. CTU has been asking this before the pandemic. Correct? Yes. Thank you. So what I'm asking for the last time, because I want you to hear me, I'm standing right now in front of you. We are going to Mayor Lori Lightfoot's house, and I want her to hear us. We need her to be a leader. If you want to sit in the position of a leader, I need you to act like it. If you want to have power, I need you to use your power for the common good, for the greater good of the children and the people and the city. Thank you.
Thank you, Catlyn. Next, we're going to have Nora Flanagan. She is a parent and teacher.
I have a plan because I'm a teacher. We need to have a plan. Yeah. So I'm a CPS teacher for 23 years, and I'm the proud mother of 2 CPS students who are enrolled in fantastic neighborhood schools. In both of my roles, parent and teachers, I want school to work. But right now it's chaos. I'm at a high-functioning school with a great administration, and it's chaos. Administrators are not just leading their schools, they're functioning as bootleg contact tracers because CPS didn't staff enough people in those roles. Teachers are also functioning as trauma counselors, again, more understaffing from CPS. Non-teaching staff members are multitasking even more than they were before because there are too many new roles and not enough new hires. And as a parent, I see my son's schools reaching out and doing their best to re-engage students, making do with what they have, but what they have is not enough. My son's high school has been excellent about trying to re-engage students and get them involved again, but they don't have Chromebooks. My 6th grader's fantastic neighborhood elementary school is doing a wonderful job. He's so excited to be back, and his teachers are magic. But as someone too young to be vaccinated, when will he get tested? Midday yesterday, I found out I may have been exposed to a student who tested positive for COVID. And that left me scrambling and terrified on a Sunday afternoon, trying to find an expensive rapid antigen test anywhere near my house, while my husband worked a 24-hour shift as a first responder. And I desperately wanted to make sure that I did not bring the infection in front of more students, or that I didn't send my sons into their school communities and put more people at risk. So that was how I spent my Sunday, running around trying to find a COVID test. And CPS has no testing plan to support situations like that. There's no rapid test for exposed students or teachers. So I had to take care of it myself. And there's even less of a plan if any of us had been sick. But I don't know any of this because CPS reached out to me. I only even know that I may have been exposed because the student's family was considerate enough, because parents know the chaos that we're dealing with in the schools. And for all I know, I wasn't considered a close enough contact, either because I'm vaccinated or because the kid didn't cough directly into my eye. Whatever. But I had no recourse with CPS. I had no way to get tested unless I could scramble and find it on my own. That's not right. So where is the testing we were promised? We needed it on day 1, not trickling out week 3. It is the 3rd week of school and neither of my sons has been tested yet. Oh, where's the updated case data? Good question. Anybody have the case data? Because that tracker is a week behind all the time. Where is the transparency? Where is the light? I thought we were letting light in.
Where's that light, Lightfoot?
The chaos happening right now is because of a leadership void at CPS. There are unfilled roles, unclear job descriptions. We might pretend we don't know who's running CPS, but we actually kind of do. The decision-making engine is Lori Lightfoot's ego.
Yes!
Not a conversation conversation with parents, teachers, students, and communities. We are who should be driving this conversation, not a mayor desperate to be right all the time. We need options, we need information, we need transparency, and we need a real partnership with CPS, and we need it now. Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna bring up Dulce.
Hello, everybody. My name is Dulce Garduno. I'm here because I am a mother and I am immigrant, and I am here to support. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. Sorry. My name is Dulce Garduno. I'm here supporting these teachers, these students, like father. I am Mexican immigrant, and I am here because we have a lot of issues. I am in commitment with my community, with my son specific. I've been in CPS for 9 years. I've been a lot of issues in my community. I've been a lot in discrimination with my community. And it's enough. Enough, it's enough. The system is not helping us. We have a lot of issues. We have families living in one apartment with two or three families in one apartment. We have bills waiting for us, and anybody help us. And what's gonna happen if these kids going to be sick? The problem is the consequence. This is everything, it's new. Pandemic, it's the word, perfect word for say, this is the crisis. This is a chaos, and we need stop now. We need nurse in the school. We need 7 days, 7 weeks, 7 days, 7 days. We need the school open for vaccinate. It's very important have these issues. We need libraries. We need person inside. We need person to help us kids because we have a lot of issues with mental health before. What's gonna happen now? We have a lot in mental health, and Lori Life closed everything long time ago. What's gonna happen? What we will do? Thank you. I'm gonna repeat in Spanish. Thank you. Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Dulce. Hoy vine a hablar como una madre migrante, como una persona comprometida con mi comunidad y en apoyo a los padres. Por diferentes razones necesitamos tener confianza en nuestros hijos y nuestros hijos en nosotros. Que tengamos la paz que necesitan nuestros hijos. CPS está fallando y aquí podemos ser parte del nepotismo que muchos padres detectamos desde hace mucho tiempo. Por experiencia dentro de CPS, sé que están parientes, amigos, socios y es algo muy común. Yo invito a todos los padres a que nos unamos porque así como ellos necesitan a sus socios y amigos, nosotros también debemos de estar unidos. Ellos nos abandonaron y nosotros nos tenemos que reunir. Todos vamos a defender la postura que queremos y que a pesar de esta pandemia ha dejado a padres y a hijos solos. El sistema de salud es un desastre. Los padres de crianza ya no se dan abasto y en nuestras comunidades latinas tenemos niños que se han quedado huérfanos de un padre o de los dos. Muchas veces ya no tienen ni siquiera abuelos en este país. ¿Qué va a hacer con estos niños? ¿Qué va a pasar? El sistema está colapsando. La desigualdad, las clases económicas entre la gente migrante cada día son más grandes. Para muchos de ellos, los directores nos venden a los latinos espejitos a cambio de la educación de nuestros hijos. La pandemia es una enfermedad que se extiende a muchos países y a casi a todos los individuos de una localidad o región. Esto es la situación de la pandemia. Esto tiene un efecto sin precedente que cambia y está marcando el futuro de todos. Por favor, necesitamos enfermeras en las escuelas todo el tiempo. Necesitamos una persona que se encargue de la librería. Necesitamos vacunaciones dentro de las escuelas. Muchos de los padres no pueden asistir en las horas de los hospitales, pero pueden ir a recoger a sus hijos, y es ahí donde tienen que estar y recoger su vacuna también al mismo tiempo. Esto es algo que se está pidiendo. Por favor, los profesores sé que están batallando con la tecnología y que los estudiantes están pasando por muchísimo caos. Necesitamos parar esto. Necesitamos reanudar la actividad y volver a la nueva normalidad. Gracias.
Okay, finally, we will have Alderman Byron Sigcho Lopez come up and speak.
Muy buenas tardes y good afternoon, everyone. And thank you to all the parents, and educators, and people from the community for standing in support for what's right and what's fair. A little louder, like this is better. Louder? Well, thank you again. Thank you again to the educators and parents and people from the community for coming together to protect the well-being of our children, our students, and our communities across the city. What it is critical, and unfortunately, we're still waiting for a democratic process to make decisions in CPS. That is why we demanded to have an elected representative school board yesterday. Because we knew that this was the kind of decision-making process that the mayor proposes. And the status quo continues to push for. That leaves parents out of the process. It is clear that what we hear loud and clear from the parents and the educators and people on the ground is that parents and people in the community or students need to have the option to have remote learning if they choose so. That is a critical component. What we also have heard loud and clear, and this was a letter sent to the mayor's office as well as the city council. We also want to make sure that our schools must have vaccination for everyone 12 years or older. 12 hours per day for during the whole week. We need to make sure that all the children who are eligible to get vaccinated have access to do so, to protect the well-being and the lives of our families and children. Also, and what we have heard loud and clear, that we have to have schools requiring all students and staff to have COVID rapid testing each week, regularly. And that we still don't understand why Mayor Lightfoot and her appointed board continue to roll back some protections that were established during the pandemic. Social distancing, mask, the 6 feet apart. We're still in the pandemic, but we continue to see crowded classrooms, crowded lunchrooms that have us all concerned about the infections that are happening in our communities. We cannot roll back those protections on those guidelines. We're still under a pandemic, and we need to protect the well-being of our students. What is concerning is that a few weeks ago, before the school year began, we had steel classrooms and schools without AC and proper ventilation systems, despite having almost $2 billion coming from infrastructure funds from the federal government. Those funds are being awarded to Amarak and those corporations that were just a few months ago condemned for corruption, but yet today rewarded with more contracts, and our infrastructure in our communities is crumbling, in our schools is crumbling, while we continue to give giveaways to corporations and those who Mayor Lightfoot favors. So today, we have to make sure that we as a community come together to protect the well-being, the lives of our children, of our students, our families and communities at large. That's why we have to stand together today and demand answers from CPS. It is appalling. I have been in several meetings with the Chicago Public Schools representatives that they don't even have the decency to provide answers to the parents and educators that they're supposed to represent. Right. Today, we demand those answers. We demand, as we have put it to Mayor Lightfoot in writing, we demand an answer from Mayor Lightfoot and the appointed board in writing to these demands that are only fair and right to protect the well-being of our students, our families and educators across the city. Brevemente en español, es importantísimo, hoy más que nunca, que la Junta de Educación, la alcaldesa Lightfoot, escuche de las madres, padres de familia, de las educadores y educadoras en nuestras escuelas, que están demandando lo justo, lo correcto y lo que se necesita para proteger las vidas, la salud de nuestras familias, de nuestros niñas y niñas y educadores. Más de 5,000 personas, en la gran mayoría, personas en nuestras comunidades más vulnerables, han fallecido durante esta pandemia. Es inaudito que la alcaldesa y la Junta elegida a dedo continúen negando respuestas y no responda a las inquietudes y las demandas de nuestras comunidades. Las demandas son claras y lo dice la evidencia de los expertos en la materia. Necesitamos y urgentemente que todos los padres, madres de familia, los estudiantes tengan la elección, su elección de tener la opción de tener a sus niños en educación remota si así lo eligen. Eso es algo que los padres y madres de familia tienen su derecho y ese derecho debe ser respetado. También necesitamos que todas las escuelas ofrezcan vacunación a todos los niños de 12 años o más para que puedan protegerse en la salud de niños y niñas que son elegibles para la vacuna, pero la vacunación debe ser accesible en todas nuestras escuelas. Estamos demandando que sean, como en otros estados, 12 horas al día durante el día de la semana de educación escolar. Además, necesitamos que todas las escuelas también tengan la facilidad de tener test rápido de COVID todas las semanas para poder monitorear lo que está pasando y los casos de contagio en nuestras escuelas. Además, todavía no sabemos y es inaudito que se hayan reducido, flexibilizado las regulaciones de distanciamiento social, el uso de máscaras que durante la pandemia han sido aplicados. Hoy más que nunca se necesitan mantener estas regulaciones en las escuelas. Se ven las imágenes de salones de clase y también en los lugares del almuerzo, donde tenemos niños y niñas y jóvenes que están totalmente expuestos sin el distanciamiento social y sin, obviamente, la protección de las máscaras. Hasta hace pocas semanas continuamos teniendo problemas incluso con la ventilación. Tenemos salones de clase que no tienen ventilación, lo cual es inaudito, teniendo una pandemia, teniendo escuelas que ya han comenzado a retomar las clases. Es inaudito que no se tenga lo más básico de infraestructura. Lo que estamos demandando, vamos a recibir casi 2 billones de dólares a las escuelas públicas y es necesario que se invierta en estas iniciativas para proteger la salud y las vidas de nuestros niños y niñas, de educadores y nuestras familias en nuestras comunidades y no los bolsillos de los millonarios y las corporaciones a las que se siguen beneficiando cuando incluso hay corporaciones como Amarak que han sido condenadas por corrupción. Es tiempo de cambiar y es tiempo que la alcaldesa y la Junta de Educación respondan las demandas de la comunidad de nuestros padres y madres y educadores. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Professor Sigcho. He's a professor at UIC. What I want to highlight here is that everybody here is talking about the safety of the children, safety of the families, but somewhere along the line we lost sight of what education is all about. And it's about closing the achievement gap. We had those kids technologically inclined. Everybody had computers in the house. That was a big step forward to closing the achievement gap. They knew how to manipulate the Chromebooks. They knew how to how to go underseas in first grade, second grade, third grade. They knew how to go into breakout rooms, come back, go to lunch, come back, do their work. They knew where to go to different sites and do their math and their English. And everything was being monitored and progress monitored. And the teachers was able to group them and then send them into breakout rooms and tell these first, second, third graders, all right, meet me in breakout room 1 in 5 minutes. The rest of you go and do the other work and learn on your own. Continue to learn on your own. We'll group you later. We were 10. We go back and they give us books. They take away the Chromebooks. We went 10 years back. 10 years. We're on the cusp of technology. The ultimate equalizer in education. And that's what she did. For some strange reason, they don't want urban children to move forward. Ask her why. I'm not screaming. I'm not screaming. We need to close the achievement gap. Sorry, I get emotional.
What's your name? What's your name?
Oscar Ortiz. O-R-T-I-Z, Oscar.
And are you a teacher?
I'm a teacher.
Teacher in what school?
I'm a teacher at a high school, but
That's okay. All right, we are going to move on to go take these demands to Mayor Lori Lightfoot. Anyone who wants to speak once we get there, I'll have this and hand it off. All right. We're walking that way. Hey, where's our money? Where's our money? Here's our money, Lightfoot. Thank you, everyone. We're walking this way towards Brightwood. Follow us. We're going to have some chants. And thank you all for coming.
thank you all so much.
Thank you for having us.
Hey! Hello!
Hello.
I'm trying to give away some of these mats, these KF95 mats, the respirators. If anyone has a student that likes them, I have bags right there. Just grab it and get them to the student.
Yes, everyone, before you take off, if you have, especially if you're a teacher, there are K94 masks.
We have K94 masks right over here before we take off.